Hi, I apologise that it's really dark. I'm actually in front of a window, but you probably couldn't even tell. But it's one of those days. It's snowy and grey. They're my favourite days, so they make me happy. But yeah, I was meant to post a video about my Eureka moment and I never got around to it because I'm a disorganised mess. I literally have no other excuse, I'm just a disorganised mess. I'm just gonna film this all in one shoot, so I'm sorry if I ramble or waffle. But yeah. So my Eureka moment actually happened when I was 16 years old and I was lying unconscious in a bathroom in Spain, and yeah, that wasn't fun, but what makes me go wow every time was that was actually the moment God chose to reveal himself to me in a way that I didn't think I would experience until I was a lot older. All this may be like a shock to some non-Christians or people who maybe just know nothing about God or Christianity as a whole, but Christians can experience doubt of God's existence anytime, which is a scary thing because when you're like trying to devote your life to something, like your whole life to something, and you're trying to change your life because of it, and then you think, whoa, what if God isn't real? Like, what if God isn't real? And at this point, until my attack in Spain, that's exactly how I was feeling. On the months run up, I was thinking like, whoa, you know, like, what if God isn't real? And then I started praying, like, God, are you real? And in my head I was testing God all the time. I was like doing stupid stuff like, you know, like, God, if you do this, then I know you're real. Or if you, it was basically, God, if you do it my way, I know you're real. And now when I think back on it, it was absolutely ridiculous, but it did take what I went through for me to understand why it was ridiculous. But yeah, so my Eureka moment was realising the purpose of life, the meaning of life, and that is one of life's huge questions. People go from the day they're born to the day they die, what is the meaning of life? And the meaning of life is really simple, and I think that's why people don't accept it, because they think, no, like, no, that's way too easy, like, this life is so complicated, the answer must be complicated. But actually it's us humans who make it complicated. The reason for our life is to glorify God. We were made by God and he loves us. No matter which family we were born into, no matter our background, our skin colour, our ethnicity, our age, our gender, nothing matters to God apart from your heart. And a couple of weeks ago with my friends from my YF, we actually did a Bible study on the heart, and it was really interesting because we were all talking about what is our heart and what comes from it. So we all decided that, well, through the Bible, we came to the conclusion that our heart is where our intentions come from. And until that point in Spain, I was like, just my intentions were just for myself, and I didn't really think about God that much. I did on a Sunday, and I did when I was singing in church, and I did when I was talking to people about God, but I mean everyday decisions and everything I did, God didn't even come into my mind. I would defend God if his name was slandered, but I wouldn't really, you know, I had Christian in my bio on Instagram, and I knew a few Bible verses, but honestly I'd never actually read my Bible properly until like 2 years ago, because I didn't really see that there was a need, which is actually crazy to think, to do with like where I am now. Not that I'm oh holy now, but I really do thank God for where he's brought me to in this point, because even when I do fail, I know that it's all part of this huge plan, and I do now really try to check my heart a lot more than I did. Again, I still feel probably the same amount. It doesn't make me any more perfect. But my Eureka moment was realising that life is about joy. First Jesus, then others, then yourself. And I've never really thought of myself as that selfish a person, but when I'm like, my sister says this quite a lot, like, Hannah, you do realise that like we're all selfish, and because we have a wee joke that she's selfish, but like she's not really. And like it hits me nearly every time she says it. She doesn't know that, but it does, because I'm like, you know, I try to like no, like me, like I think of others, but then when you actually think about it, you're like, oh, you kind of go into a lot of situations, think, oh, what can this do for me, you know, rather than like, what can I do for them, or what can I do for Jesus. And I realised so many times in that moment, I was lying unconscious, and I was unconscious for 2 hours and then in ICU in Spain, and it was a near-death experience. And God revealed himself to me in a moment of unconsciousness, which is crazy for me to think, because it just shows that like we do have a spirit, and my spirit was spoken to, and I said to God, like, if you're going to take me, like, just take me now, but I really don't want to go, because I realised what was happening. My body was telling me something was wrong, my brain was telling me something was wrong, and I believed I was on my way out, and I still do believe that. And I just felt, I didn't hear a voice, but I felt something say to me, now you've realised. And it was once I realised that I woke up with all these nurses or doctors all around me going, like, and they were all really relieved because I woke up and they didn't think they were going to be able to wake me up, which is bonkers to think. And I haven't been well since then, but God was preparing me, and that's something I've realised as well, that God prepares you. God prepares you for the future, whether it's going to be a rough future, whether it's going to be an easy future, he always prepares you. And my preparation was that I had to go through that moment of realisation that life wasn't about me, in order to overcome the obstacles that God's placed in front of me now, to do with being ill and not being able to go to school all the time, or not being able to go to church all the time, not being able to go out with my friends. Because if I hadn't gone through that moment of realisation, I would have been probably just stuck in bed all the time, not even just to do with my illness, my physical illness, but I would have just been 10 times worse. I go through times, of course, like when you're shut in the house all the time, there is a depressive element, because you know you're missing out in like your friendships in school, and even learning. You don't realise how much you miss learning, but you really do miss learning. And that has been quite depressing. I don't use that term lightly. But I know if I hadn't gone through that moment initially in Spain, I would be in way worse a place. I wouldn't have realised how much God loved me, and I wouldn't have realised that I had a purpose. I know that I wouldn't have. So I just want to read you guys Psalm 46, because it is one of my all-time favourite passages. Sorry if this video just has been a lot of waffle, but that's just me. It's about knowing God is our strength, and it's nothing to do with us, because we're just weak little humans, to be honest. Just the easiest way to put it. But yeah, it's called God is Our Fortress. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in the time of trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage, the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Come, behold the works of the Lord, how he has brought desolations on the earth. He makes war cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. I hope you took something from it. Thank you.